Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here again, taking this huge stack of research, expert insights, proven frameworks.
And boiling it all down, making it actionable, a blueprint, really.
Exactly. A blueprint for high performance. And today, we're tackling something absolutely central for anyone in the property game: architecting real estate success.
Yeah, and this isn't about crystal ball gazing or predicting the next hot market, no. This is about the nuts and bolts, the repeatable systems high performers use day in, day out.
Whether you're focused on sales, or maybe building your own investment portfolio, or both.
Right, it applies across the board. We want to dissect those foundations.
So our mission today is pretty clear. Extract those core principles.
Yeah.
We're looking past the hype, the get-rich-quick stuff.
And focusing on three key pillars. First, how you manage yourself, your habits, your time. Second, how you interact professionally, communication, negotiation.
And third, the long game, how you structure your finances, protect your assets.
And, looking across all the sources, all the successful people documented, there's one absolutely critical shift they all seem to make.
Okay, what's that?
They move away from obsessing over the outcome. The closed deal, the commission number, the big goal, way off in the distance. And they shift their entire focus onto the systems, the daily processes that produce those outcomes reliably. That's the game changer.
Okay, let's really unpack that because, standard advice is always set goals, smart goals.
Right, that's what everyone hears. But our research here kind of pushes back on that. It suggests results. Well, they have surprisingly little to do with the goals you set.
Really? Less to do with the goals.
And almost everything to do with the systems you follow consistently. It's a different way of thinking.
So explain that. How does that mindset difference play out?
Well, think about change happening on different levels. The easiest one to see is the outcome. That's what you get. Like, I'm going to close 20 deals this year.
Okay, the target.
Then there's the process layer. That's what you do. I will prospect for 2 hours every single morning.
The actions.
But the deepest layer, the one that actually drives long-term consistency, that's identity. It's about what you believe about yourself. It's about who you wish to become.
Okay, so identity. How does that connect to, say, being a top agent?
Yeah.
Instead of just wanting the outcome.
Well, if you just chase the outcome, I want to be a top earner, you're relying on willpower, motivation, which, comes and goes.
Yeah, definitely Monday morning versus Friday afternoon.
Exactly. But if you build identity-based habits, you start saying, I'm the type of person who is a successful, high-volume agent.
Ah, okay. So you define yourself by the role.
And that statement forces you to ask, well, what does that kind of person do every day? That person doesn't hit snooze on their prospecting time. That person treats lead follow-up like it's sacred.
So the goal isn't the 20 deals itself.
The goal is to become the professional who naturally closes 20 deals because of who they are and what they do consistently. The results just follow. They become a byproduct.
That feels more integrated, less like forcing something and more like living up to who you decided to be.
Precisely. And to get there, we need to understand how habits actually form. It's this 4-step loop, right? Cue, craving, response, reward.
The habit loop. And we can actually engineer this.
We can. And the sources give us a great framework, the 4 laws of behavior change.
Okay, let's break those down for real estate pros. What's the first law?
Make it obvious. Simple, right, but powerful. It's about removing friction and ambiguity. Design your environment for success.
So not just I should call leads, but
I will call my sphere of influence leads at 8:30 a.m. sharp in my home office before I even look at email. See? Specific time, specific location, specific trigger.
implementation intention. Got it.
And then you design the space. If 8:30 a.m. is prospecting time, your phone's charged, your CRM is open, maybe your script is right there. The cue to start is unavoidable. You've made it obvious.
Takes effort up front, saves willpower later. Okay, I like that. What's law 2? This one sounds good for procrastination. Make it easy.
Oh, it's huge. This is the gateway habit idea. The biggest hurdle for any new habit is just starting.
Getting over that initial inertia.
Exactly. So the 2-minute rule says, make the first 2 minutes of any new habit incredibly easy. Effortless, almost.
So not analyze 5 deals tonight, but
maybe just open my deal analysis spreadsheet. That's it. Just open the file. Once you're sitting there, the file's open. It's much, much easier to actually start plugging in numbers.
you lower the barrier to entry, get momentum going.
You just need to show up for those first 2 minutes. Momentum often handles the rest.
Okay, that's practical.
Okay.
And law 3 connects this habit stuff directly to money, right? One-time choices.
Yes, these are single decisions you make once that automate good behavior in the future. High leverage points.
Like setting up automatic savings.
That's the classic example, and it plugs right into smart financial thinking. Financially successful people, they save first, then spend what's left.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Not saving whatever scraps are left at month end.
Never. By automating your savings, maybe a percentage of every commission check goes straight to an investment account you made one choice months ago that forces disciplined behavior forever.
You basically institutionalized it, made saving part of your financial identity, not just a wish.
Exactly. You've prioritized your future self over today's spend impulse, all thanks to one decision.
Okay, systems, habits, but then there's the clock. Time management. The sources warn about something called annualized thinking. What's that?
Oh, that's a big trap. Thinking in terms of annual goals, I have 12 months to hit X, it just breeds complacency.
Gives you too much runway, maybe.
Way too much. You think, I can slack off this week, maybe next month, I'll catch up later. But later often never comes, or it's frantic and stressed.
Because success isn't built annually.
It's built daily and weekly, that annual focus. It kills the urgency you need today.
So the antidote is the 12-week year principle.
Exactly. You shorten the horizon, treat 12 weeks like a full year. Suddenly, every week matters. Every day matters.
Creates a healthy pressure.
A constant healthy pressure. And your plan for those 12 weeks. It's your roadmap, but you gotta embrace the mindset. A good plan executed today is far better than a perfect plan sitting on the shelf tomorrow.
Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis.
No. Execute. Action refines the plan. If you mess up in week 3 of a 12-week cycle, you know immediately. You adjust immediately, not vaguely sometime in Q4.
That kind of focus requires serious intention with your time, using performance time.
Yeah, performance time is about ruthlessly blocking out chunks for your highest impact activities, the stuff that actually moves the needle.
Like prospecting, lead follow-up, deal analysis, negotiations.
Revenue-generating activities. And you guard that time like a hawk. You learn to say no to distractions, to low-value tasks that creep in.
Even just a few hours a week of true performance time adds up, huh?
Dramatically. They impact on your results, your confidence, your clarity. It's huge.
Okay, so we have the systems, the habits, the time focus. What holds it all together? Accountability. But people often react negatively to that word.
They do. They hear accountability and think criticism, punishment, being called out.
Right.
But that's a total misunderstanding. True accountability, it's an enabling process, it's empowering. And get this statistic from the sources.
Okay. Success
comes roughly 10% from setting the goal, maybe 10% from having the action plan, and 80% from accountability.
80%. Wow. That's staggering. So it's not just about needing supervision.
Not at all. It's deeper. It's about the psychological weight, the commitment device, having someone external, a coach, a mentor, a peer partner you respect.
Someone you report back to.
Yes. Yeah. Someone you meet with regularly to review your actions against your plan. Knowing you have that meeting next Tuesday makes it much harder to skip your prospecting calls on Monday morning, even if you don't feel like it.
It makes the commitment real, tangible.
It provides that structure. It's not about blame. It's about support and staying on track.
And this ties into the idea of ownership, right? Moving beyond just being held accountable.
Absolutely. Accountability gets compliance. Ownership gets commitment. Ownership unlocks discretionary effort, that extra mile people go.
The difference between good and great performance.
Exactly. People pour their energy into things they feel they own, not just things they'll get dinged for if they don't do. So whether you're leading a team or just managing yourself, fostering that sense of ownership over the systems and outcomes, that's key for sustained high performance.
Okay, foundation's built. Systems, identity, accountability. Now let's apply that same rigor to the front lines client interactions, starting with often the scariest part, negotiation.
Yeah, definitely high stress for many. And the big shift here is moving away from seeing negotiation as a fight, an argument.
Where the person with the best comeback wins.
Right, or the most data points. The sources say great negotiators see it totally differently. They see it as a process of discovery.
Discovery.
Right.
Uncovering secrets.
Kind of. Their goal isn't to win an argument, it's to use their skills to reveal things, to find the surprises they know are hiding under the surface, the other party's real motivations, their fears, their constraints, things they aren't saying outright.
Because if you're just arguing your points, you're missing all that hidden info.
You're missing maybe 80% of what's actually driving their decisions. So information gathering becomes the primary goal.
And the ultimate aim of persuasion, then, isn't beating them down with logic.
It's getting the other party to convince themselves that the solution you want is actually their idea.
Wow. Okay, how do you do that?
You have to enter the world of the counterpart. You negotiate based on their reality, their perceived needs, their language, not just your brilliant spreadsheet analysis.
So lots of questions.
Calibrated questions, questions designed to gently guide them, to open pathways towards the common ground. Like if a seller is stuck on an unrealistic price,
Instead of just hitting them with comps.
you might ask something like, help me understand if we listed at that price. What specifically would need to happen in today's market for a typical buyer to see that as good value? You make them grapple with the market disconnect.
Puts the onus on them. Okay, give us a tactic. Something maybe counterintuitive for this discovery process.
Okay, one that sounds weird but can be really effective is sometimes forcing a no.
Forcing a no isn't yes the goal.
Usually. But imagine you're dealing with someone really resistant, maybe shutting down, not engaging. They might just be waiting for you to finally agree with their unrealistic stance.
Okay.
So, to jolt them back, you might intentionally mislabel an emotion or a desire they have. You could say, maybe softly, it sounds like you've kind of given up hope on selling this place at all.
Which is probably not true.
Exactly. It forces them to say, no, that's not it. And in correcting you, they often just spill. They reveal the real issue, the fear, the constraint they were holding back. It re-engages them instantly.
That takes some serious composure, though. You can't get flustered.
Oh, absolutely. That links to the ninja selling idea, right? Be like the duck. Calm, cool, collected on the surface.
Even if you're paddling like crazy underneath.
Exactly. Avoid amplifying minor disagreements into big dramas. Stay focused on discovery, objective information, even if your internal state is processing rapidly.
Okay, composure is key. Let's shift to getting the client in the first place. The listing presentation. The advice here seems backward. The less said, the better. Really.
It sounds counterintuitive, but yeah. Top producers often have surprisingly short, focused listing presentations. It signals confidence, respect for the client's time, and efficiency.
So what's the danger of a long, rambling presentation?
Several things go wrong. First, the client zones out. You can see their eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
Second, the agent senses this loss of connection and starts to panic. They begin over-promising, fancy marketing nobody needs, extra advertising.
Trying to win them back with stuff?
Exactly. And third, and this is critical, backed by data, the longer the presentation goes, the more the commission rate tends to get squeezed down, and the requested listing price tends to get pushed up.
Oh, that's a toxic mix. High price, low commission.
Equals a stressed agent, a long time on market, unhappy seller, maybe an expired listing. A tight, confident presentation avoids that death spiral. Clarity wins.
And that clarity needs to extend to who you even present to. You can't waste time. Top performance requires skill in prospecting, follow-up, but only if you're targeting the right people.
Absolutely. Brutal qualification is necessary. You have to identify and avoid the time sinkholes. The sources call them duds.
Duds.
Yeah, or clients whose expectations are just completely untethered from reality. There's this archetype, the will never buy sell
I
person.
think I know this person.
We all do. They look constantly. They go to open houses every weekend. But they'll only make a move if they can sell their place for like $30 over market and buy the next one for $25K under market.
Yeah, the stars are never aligning.
Never. The conditions will never be just right. You have to recognize that pattern, quickly and politely disengage. They drain your most valuable resource, time and energy.
So how do you filter effectively? Categorization.
Rigorous categorization based purely on urgency. A leads are your gold. These are people ready to buy or sell in 60 days or less. Maximum priority.
And the follow-up is intense.
High frequency, high touch. Call them at least once a week, and every single time you talk to an A lead, ask for an appointment, be direct.
Okay, so A leads are about logistics. When can we see houses? Let's review the offer. What about B leads?
B leads are the next tier, maybe looking to transact in 120 days or less. The focus with them is different. It's more about education and expectation setting.
So fewer calls.
Call maybe every 3-4 weeks, and the conversation is about grounding them in reality. Okay, I see you're loving homes listed at $600, but based on your pre-approval, that $550 carry mark is really the sweet spot for affordability. Let's refine our search there so we're looking at realistic options.
Gotcha. Nurturing them towards becoming an A lead by managing expectations.
Oh, exactly. They need that dose of reality before they're truly ready.
This clarity in sales flows right into marketing, doesn't it? Clear communication is vital there too, defining the stakes.
Huge. Your marketing needs to make the client the hero of their own story. And every good story has stakes. What happens if they do work with you? what disaster might happen if they don't.
So not just I sell houses, but I prevent your home from sitting on the market for months and losing you money.
Precisely. If you haven't clearly articulated the pain you help them avoid, the expired listing, the botched negotiation, the legal nightmare, then your message isn't compelling enough. You haven't given them a reason to really pay attention.
And once you have that core message, that value proposition, repeat it a lot. The one-liner strategy.
Oh, yeah. You need your brand's one-liner, that single, crisp sentence summarizing how you make their life better, and you need to use it everywhere.
Like everywhere.
Until you feel like you're overdoing it. Put it in your email signature, your voicemail, your social profiles, on every flyer. Clients are bombarded with information. Repetition is the only way to cut through the noise and make sure they get what you do uniquely well.
Makes sense. And speaking of marketing channels, there was a bit in the research that might surprise people about good old-fashioned email.
Still incredibly powerful, the data consistently shows, especially for businesses doing under, say, $5 million in revenue, email marketing often delivers the best ROI.
Better than social media.
Often better than all the social platforms combined. It's direct, it's permission-based, you own the list, and you bypass the algorithms. Don't neglect your email list. It's a core revenue engine.
Okay, we've covered personal systems, professional execution. Now let's connect that success, that cash flow, to building real long-term wealth.
It seems to start with a fundamental financial choice.
It really does. It boils down to this. Are you on the path of earned income, where you trade your time and skills for money? Or are you building towards unearned income, where your money starts working for you? The classic work for money versus money works for you.
Exactly. And while being a successful agent generates fantastic earned income, true financial freedom, the kind where you're not dependent on the next commission check, that comes from accumulating assets that throw off passive, unearned income.
So the high income from sales is the engine.
It's the engine that funds the vehicle, and the vehicle is investments, real estate, stocks, businesses that generate income without you actively trading hours for dollars.
There was that anecdote. I think my father's story fits this perfectly. Successful dentist, great income. But the wealth, the early retirement option, that didn't come from drilling more teeth.
Right. It came from
Using the practice as cash flow to buy rental properties and invest in the market. The dentistry paid the bills and funded the investments. The investments built the actual wealth.
That is the absolute model.
Yeah.
Your active business fuels the passive wealth machine. But it's not just about having money to invest. It's about having the financial intelligence to invest wisely.
Which brings us squarely to analyzing deals. Because bad math going in
Means bad profits or losses coming out. Every single time. No exceptions.
rigor is essential. And investors need to accept a certain reality about deal flow, right? The 1% rule of opportunity.
Yeah, this can be sobering, but it's crucial. For every 100 properties that look interesting on the surface, you might realistically analyze, say, 20 in detail, make offers on maybe 10.
And get only one accepted.
Often, yes, only about 1% of potential leads turn into actual closed deals that meet your strict criteria. This means you need volume and you need efficiency.
How do you handle that volume without drowning?
By having crystal clear, non-negotiable screening criteria up front. Know your target cash-on-cash return, your minimum cap rate, your preferred neighborhoods, your deal breakers. This lets you discard 90% of potential deals almost instantly and focus only on the ones with real potential. You develop expertise through focus.
Okay, let's talk metrics for that screening. Beyond basic stuff like price per unit, the big one for income properties seems to be the capitalization rate, the cap rate.
Absolutely fundamental. The cap rate is basically the unleveraged rate of return you'd expect if you bought the property all cash. It's how investors compare different income properties quickly.
And it helps estimate value?
Primarily, yes, especially future value or sale price. The core idea relies on the property's net operating income, or NOI.
Remind us what NOI is.
It's all the income the property generates, rent, laundry, etc., minus all the operating expenses, taxes, insurance, maintenance, management fees. But before you account for any mortgage payments or debt service, it's the property's pure operational profit.
Okay, so you have the NOI. How does the cap rate turn that into a value?
The formula is elegant. Value NOI cap rate. Simple division.
Give us an example.
Okay, say a small apartment building generates $50,000 a year in NOI. And in that specific market, for that type of property, investors are currently demanding, let's say, a 6% cap rate.
Meaning they expect a 6% return on an all-cash purchase?
Right. So the estimated value is $50,000 divided by 0.06, which is about $833,000.
And what's really interesting is how sensitive that value is to changes in the cap rate itself.
Hugely sensitive. If market conditions change, maybe interest rates spike, or perceived risk goes up, investors might start demanding an 8% cap rate for that same type of property.
So even if the building's income, $50 NOI, stays exactly the same.
The value drops. Now it's $50,000 divided by 0.08, which is only $625,000. That's why understanding prevailing cap rates and where they might be heading is absolutely critical for both buying and selling strategy.
That's the math side. But real estate, especially investing, it's not a solo sport, is it?
Not if you want to scale and succeed long term. You need a team, an inner circle.
What's that involve?
Successful folks rely on a tight group, mentors, coaches, key consultants like a great CPA or attorney. These aren't just people you call when you need something transactional.
They're advisors, advocates.
Exactly. People who provide strategic guidance, hold you accountable, challenge your thinking, and importantly, they often open doors to deals and opportunities you wouldn't find otherwise. You should be meeting with your inner circle members regularly, maybe monthly.
For someone just starting out, trying to build that network, where's a good place to begin?
Local real estate investing clubs or associations, REIA groups, they're everywhere.
Good place to find potential team members, brokers, lenders.
Absolutely. Plus, you can learn market trends, hear what's working and what's not, swap stories. It's invaluable. And here's a pro tip. Don't just attend these meetings.
What then?
Start your own small group. A mastermind may be focused on a specific niche. When you become the organizer, the facilitator, you instantly become the hub. Everyone knows you. It turbocharges your network and credibility.
Smart. Okay, what about finding specialized help within that network? Say you need an agent who really gets investors, maybe understands short-term rentals, STRs.
Best way, ask other successful investors who they use and trust. Plain and simple.
Referrals from people already doing what you want to do.
Yes. You need an agent who speaks the language. Cap rates, cash on cash, ROI projections. Not just someone focused on curb appeal or the feel of the place. Using a generalist residential agent to save a few bucks on commission that can cost you tens, even hundreds of thousands in a poorly analyzed deal, penny-wise, pound foolish.
Right. Get the right expertise. Okay, deals are flowing, teams in place. Now, protection, asset protection. The sources are blunt about operating as a sole proprietor.
Yeah, basically financial suicide if you have any assets. Operating as a sole proprietor or holding investment properties directly in your personal name, you have zero protection. Your business liabilities can take your personal assets, and your personal problems can take your business assets. It's wide open.
So the standard advice is?
Use legal entities. Limited liability companies, LLCs, are the go-to for most real estate investors.
Right, LLC.
Two huge benefits. First, the liability shield. Generally, your personal assets are protected from lawsuits against the business within the LLC. Losses are limited to what's in that specific LLC. Second, the reverse is also true. The LLC's assets are typically protected from the personal debts or lawsuits of the members, owners. It creates separation, walls.
That separation is key. The sources also mentioned a more obscure risk, even with legal structures, related to co-ownership. Tenancy in common.
Yes, that's a tricky one. Let's say you and a partner own a property together as tenants in common. Each of you owns a distinct separate share, maybe 50-50.
Okay.
Now, if your partner runs into serious personal financial trouble, maybe a huge tax debt, gets sued personally, their 50% share of the property could potentially be seized and sold off by their creditors.
Whoa, so suddenly you could co-own the property with whoever bought your partner's share at auction.
Exactly. A stranger. Someone you don't know, don't trust, who might have totally different goals for the property. It can lead to forced sales or paralysis. So you need to be careful who you partner with, even in seemingly simple co-ownership structures. Know their financial stability.
Good warning. Finally, let's touch on taxes. Real estate has advantages, right? Depreciation.
Yes, depreciation is a big one. It's a paper expense the IRS lets you take, reflecting the theoretical wear and tear on the building over time. This expense can shelter a good portion of your rental income from current taxes.
Sounds great. Is there a catch?
There's always a catch with taxes. The catch is depreciation recapture. When you eventually sell the property, all the depreciation you claimed over the years, you generally have to recapture it.
Meaning you pay tax on it then?
Yes, it gets added back to your income in the year of sale, often taxed at ordinary income rates, not the lower capital gains rates. It's not free money, just deferred taxes.
But the actual profit, the appreciation on the property itself, that still gets favorable treatment.
Correct. If you hold the property for more than a year, the profit from the increase in value, the capital gain, is typically taxed at the lower long-term capital gains rates. That combination, sheltering income during ownership via depreciation and then lower tax rates on the profit at sale, is a massive reason why real estate is such a powerful wealth building tool.
Wow, that was definitely a deep dive. We've covered a ton, really laying out that blueprint for real estate success. It feels like the big takeaway isn't some secret sauce, but rather superior execution, discipline.
Absolutely. It comes back to those three pillars we talked about:
Oh,
mastering your internal systems and identity, bringing professional rigor to your client interactions and qualification, and applying sharp financial intelligence to your deals and structures.
it's about building that solid foundation first.
And if there's one single thread connecting all of that, holding it together, remember that number: 80% accountability.
The 80% driver of success.
It's the mechanism that ensures you actually do the things your systems say you should do, day after day, week after week.
So for everyone listening right now, what's the immediate application? The takeaway thought.
Ask yourself, who are you accountable to right now? Are you just relying on your own willpower, which we know fades? Or do you have someone, a coach, a mentor, even just a dedicated peer partner who you report your progress to, someone who knows what you committed to doing this week?
That external check-in.
Yes. So, what's the one specific high-leverage activity? Maybe it's making 5 extra prospecting calls. Maybe it's analyzing one more deal than usual. Maybe it's finally setting up that LLC. What's the one thing you can commit to doing starting tomorrow? And then arrange to report back on to your accountability partner.
Because the plan is just the start.
Having the right partner ensures you actually cross the finish line. That's where the real results happen.